I rise in opposition to both of the Congressional Review Act, CRA, resolutions relating to retirement that we'll be considering this week. These CRA resolutions before us would kill federal regulations that give cities and states the opportunity to expand retirement options for individuals. Our nation faces a retirement crisis. In Hawaii, about 50% of private sector workers have jobs that don't provide retirement benefits. According to a recent survey by AARP Hawaii, 56% of working-age people feel anxious about having enough money saved for retirement. For generations, Americans relied on the three-legged stool of retirement: Social Security, private savings, and a pension from their employer. Those days are gone. More and more seniors are relying on Social Security for a bigger share of their income in old age. In Hawaii, the average monthly Social Security benefit is $1,408. Given the cost of housing, medical insurance, and other necessities in Hawaii, that's not nearly enough. Seniors should be able to count on us to keep Social Security strong. That is a bedrock position we should honor. Given the retirement crisis, taking away tools that states and local government can use to help bolster retirement saving makes absolutely no sense. And yet, this is what we're about to do if we pass these CRA resolutions. Last week, the Hawaii State Senate held a hearing on legislation that would establish a Hawaii Retirement Savings Working Group. The proposed legislation would bring together public and private stakeholders to look at ways to improve retirement savings for workers. A number of stakeholder groups, retirees, and other citizens testified on the bill. Let me tell you one of their stories. His name is Donald. He is a 61-year-old gay man who has lost 3 husbands to HIV/AIDS. Donald has worked for 35 years and even set aside money for retirement using 401ks. 401ks that he cashed out to help cover medical costs for his loved ones. He said, I quote, "I did what I had to do out of love and devotion, especially when each of my guys' families took a step back in the face of adversity," end quote. Donald now lives paycheck to paycheck in senior affordable housing. He plans to work until he's at least 65. Personal tragedy isn't the only reason it's difficult for him to save. He wants to save, but he noted that, and I quote him again, "I am trying to muster some form of IRA through local financial institutions to no avail. No one returns the calls," end quote. For too many working people, saving for retirement isn't automatic or easy. It seems out of reach, but we can't let that stand. The Obama administration recognized the retirement crisis in our country and the need for new thinking to help people save. In fact, that's the point of the regulations the Senate is poised to kill. These regulations simply provide a framework that states and cities can use to expand access to retirement saving. There are no big government mandates or industry takeovers. States and cities would simply have the opportunity to be creative and help families save for retirement. The fact Republicans want to kill these rules has a certain Alice in Wonderland quality to it, where up is down and down is up. For the last few weeks, Republicans touted how Trump Care was giving states more flexibility to provide health care. And while the reality was that for a state like Hawaii and many others, Trump Care would have saddled them not with more flexibility, but more costs. At that point, states' rights was one of the selling points for that disastrous legislation. This week, Republicans have taken a U-turn. Now they're trying to kill regulations that would actually give states more flexibility to provide retirement security. And why we should take away this tool from states is beyond me. Cynics would say Republicans are doing this to help some private entities sell more retirement plans to people. However, the reality is that millions of families are not being served. Killing these rules is the latest Republican attack on working people. We should be fighting to give people like Donald more hope and opportunity. Voting against these resolutions is a vote to help people like Donald. I urge my colleagues to join me in opposing what can only characterized as lousy anti-working people resolutions. I yield the floor.